Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about comparable analysis. So CMA is very important for every agent. This is a basic that you need to learn. It's a skill to help you convert your client. If you do not know how to do a proper CMA, you probably cannot get a listing or even close your buyer client. Because without CMA, the buyer and seller cannot make a proper decision. So we call this appraisal. So for appraisal, normally there are 4 different types of appraisal. For residential, mostly we use number 1, CMA, comparable market analysis. Okay, so for other properties, for example, investment property, we use return on investment, we use cap rate and other methods. And for some redevelopment, we use replacement method and best of use method. It's basically telling you how much does it cost to build a new one if I buy this one, right? And best of use means this is an old house on the lot. If I tear it down, build townhouse or condo, how much would the land worth? So basically today we're gonna only talk about the first one, CMA, because this is what people mostly use for residential agents. In the future, I can talk about other 3 appraisal methods. So CMA package
If you
list.
have the clues,
Basically, what you do is log into
that.
MLS Paragon. You
Sad.
pull all the information out, like active, expire, terminated, or canceled, and sold. And you compare all those information and make analysis report. And also you have to know how to read a market trend. This is very important. Market trend would be something like neighborhood average days on market and average sold price, new listings, monthly sold inventory, and active sold ratio. We call it absorption ratio. Also, BC assessment, it's for client consideration. Normally, we do not use BC assessment in our CMA because BC assessment does not affect the market rate. So market trend. What you do is you log into REBGV, your website, rebgv.ca. Once you log in, there is market analysis. So you go into market analysis, there is a place where you can find all the market trends. I'll show you some pictures.
Industry.
So under market trend, you have to know and convert the information to your client. You have to convert the information, educate your client how to read a market trend, because people does not sell and buy real estate every day. They do not know the trend. So where are you at in this trend, right? Is it in a buyer market, seller's market, or are you in a balanced market? Is the market going up or is the market going down? Is it slow up or fast up, right? Is the market going really fast, going up? If you're working on a buyer, then you have to show them the trend so they can act faster, right? Otherwise, they will be priced out of the market. If they're a seller, the market goes up really quickly. When you price the property, you have to price it even higher before the market reaches that target so you can sell a maximum price. Vice versa, if the market is going down really quick, you have to price it even lower than the market price in order for you to catch all the client. So for example, if the market trend goes up really quickly, as a buyer, you have to act quickly, right? Buy quickly. As a seller, you have to price it even higher than what the current market price is. But if the market is going down very quickly, you have to do vice versa. As a buyer, you probably want to wait longer before you make a decision unless you really want to buy. And as a seller, you have to price below the market at least 10% for the market to reach to your price. And you can catch all the buyers because on the down market, everybody is competing on the price. If you price it above the market or average the market price, you'll be always chasing the market. But other side, slow up market and slow down market is easier to handle. As a slow up market is same as fast market. You do not price it way above the market price, but you price it just a little bit above average. For a slow market, you will price it slightly below the market price, right? So you have to know what the market trend is at this moment. So when you price your property, right, as a listing agent, you want to price it market value, and that gives you 60% of market share. Or you want to price it high and get smaller market share, which means the seller is not in a hurry to sell unless they sell a good price, right? And some people, they're in a rush to sell. They probably price it below the market price 10, 15%. So they will get more market share. Market share means more people will look at your listing, will come to your listing, right? Otherwise, if you price it higher, so less people will come to see it. So it is very easy to understand this part, but you have to show this diagram to your client. You can draw a triangle and show them what is going on in the market, right? If you price it too high above the market price, then less people is going to come to your listing. If you want to sell within 3 months, you probably want to keep market price or even below market price. Because sometimes when the market is fast, below market price will cause a multiple offer situation. That will also help you increase your sales price. So here is the stat center where you can go into rebgv.ca and look at all the trend. So everybody remember during middle of 2016, the market has hit by the 15% foreign tax, and later was the 20% foreign tax. And in the middle of 2017, the Chinese government policy changed it. They restrict about money transferring. So the market actually went down because of that. And 2018, there's more new policies on the mortgage rules, right? The pressure test, right? So less people can get mortgage. So all these policies are affecting the market. And people have to look at the market trend. The market trend is history until now. What is the market and how is it going up and going down? Is the market going up now or going down, right? So you have to show the client, if the market is going down, how are you going to price the listing? If the price is going up quickly, how are you going to educate your buyer? So as a listing agent, when you're doing a listing presentation, you have to show your client, right? If you if you list your property during these windows, right, the summer season, you probably will get better price. More people is gonna look at it. This picture, if you look at the left, you'll see its average listing contract days, which means the lower the better. The lower the date means it sells quickly, right? So if you look at the window, all the summer times are normally lower. Spring market, summer market, you have lower days, right? So those are the hot markets. This is sell to active ratio. normally above 0.8, and between 0.8 to 2 is called balanced market. 0.2 or higher is seller's market. Below 0.08 is the buyer's market. So when you show client this trend map, you will be able to educate them how your pricing strategy works, right? If you're in a seller's market, you can price it higher for a multiple offer. And if you're in a buyer's market, you probably want to be competitive on your listing price. And this is a sale, number of sale. So you see when where the red circle is. So this was taken probably in middle of this was in April 2018. This picture was taken April 2018. The sale went up back to middle of 2017. So middle of 2017 was a jump for a lot of home prices, right? And then it went down afterwards. And then the trend is coming back up again in middle of 2018. So what it means is the market, instead of going down, looks like it's coming back up at that time. And this is inventory. Inventory increase, that means more sellers on the market. So that means more competitors come to the market. If the market competitor is more, and when you look at the seller's buyer's market, if you're in the buyer's market and more competitors, that means you have to lower your price. But if you're in a seller's market and you have high inventory, then that means people are just crazy about the market. Everybody wants to sell a good price. You don't have to worry, right? And for average percent, so 100% means the listing price. So you see before middle of 2016, a lot of over asking price. That means maybe multiple offers. And after that, it's all below listing price, 5%, 10%, 15% below the asking price. So this is a very good educational tool for you to educate your client about the market, because normal people, they don't understand the market. You have to be the one to convert the information and make it understandable for your client. So comparable items. If you compare 5 houses, right? Other houses maybe sold 1 million and you're trying to price your house. You have to look at many items to compare, not just the lot size, house size, and how many parkings, right? You have to look at the age of the house, the lot size, home size, bedrooms, washrooms, rental unit, if they're renovated, if they're close to transit, or is it a good school catchment? Many things. Okay, the shape of the lot. Is there a fire hydrant in the front? Is there a transformer in the front? Is there a tree in the front? Is there a tree in the backyard? Right? Every single thing will affect the listing price. So you have to look at every aspect before you make a decision on the listing price. So for example, this is the point gray area. What other people, I think this is the sold. Yeah, the sold. So you have to look at the price, how everybody else sold. So if you're listing your lot, you have to find the lot size that's similar, number one. And don't worry about the age. Age can be adjustable. And also the square footage of your home inside size, because that's the construction cost, right? The bigger the house, the more value. The bigger the lot, the more value. The age can be adjusted. New one, of course, gonna be more expensive than the older one. If you have a view, it's always gonna be more expensive, right? If you have a better street, like the street is wider, it's also gonna affect the home price. If you have a curb in front of your house, it's also gonna help your listing price. So everything's gonna, affect the house. So if you see over here, number of kitchen, you see 1, 2, and even 3, right? 3 kitchen means they probably have a rental suite downstairs, because normally house on the west side, they have a walk kitchen and a normal kitchen. So those are for main floor. If they have a third kitchen, they may be in the basement, or even 2 kitchens could be in the basement. You have to look at the detail. Because a house with mortgage helper will also increase the house value. So this one's active, and this one is the sold, right? Look at the active. Active means what other people are listing, so you have to compete with their listing price in order to attract more buyers to come to your house. Also the pictures, they must be very, very nice to look at. Otherwise, if you have an ugly photo, nobody will come, right? So the sold price is actually where the market trend information came from. So all this information will go to the REBGV website, the market stat center. So if you look at the 4,000 square feet, those ones sold for 6 million, 7 million, and you have to adjust the size of your property compared to these properties. So for example, this is a Richmond number 3. It's a condo around right now, probably over 10 years. It's built in 2007, right? So right now it's 2020. So it's about 13 years. And you look at the exposure, it's northeast. But a lot of listing, they do not say northeast, they miss the exposure. Exposure is very important to all condos. Different exposure will have different price. So when you upload your listing, make sure on your data input, put your direction. Otherwise, people don't know what's the direction, because for condo, most people are looking for east or south, right? That's for a lot of Asian people. They don't like west facing, because west facing is so hot in the summertime. And you look at the square foot. Condos, we can calculate price on the square foot. So this one is 1,000 square foot even. So we have to do a MLS record and check the market trend, make sure the adjustments are correct, and also the pricing strategy. So on the top right, you also see how much it was sold, right? So it was listed 549 and sold 525. But if you look at today's price, 1,000 square foot in this location is probably gonna cost you 800 a foot, right? So it's probably gonna be $800,000 for this condo. If you bought 10 years ago, or even a few years ago, this was listed 2012. So this was 8 years ago, right? And you probably will earn how much? About 300,000 over the 8 years. Okay, so first we pull out all the sold record. So within the same building, same period of time, 2018, there was 4 sold. And you can see the average sold price per square foot is anywhere between 645 to 715. If you use that number times 1,000 square foot, you'll get the price 715 and 645. So that means your listing price would be between this range. So what you do is on your Paragon, just type in sold and area Richmond. and type in condo, right? And then 2 bedrooms only, and features. In the middle, it says must not have. We don't want to see any wood frame, right? The floor area size is around 900 to 1100, 5 years and 15 years. Those are our comparables. So after that, you get 4 listings. Okay, so the 4 listings, after you pull all the information, you can go to the right side. There's a green button says report. You go to CMA, and then you click on CMA summary. So after the CMA summary, you will see on the right here, they will show you what is the maximum average and the minimum per square foot sold. So you can use that information and to calculate the listing price. So you see average is 766 per square foot. This is similar age condo sold in Richmond, 766. So what you have here is actually below the average. That means if you price it at 715, probably you're gonna sell it very quickly. You see days on market, right? Days on market, DOM. Days on market means how many days took it to sell this condo. The 3 days, 20 days, 10 days, and 4 days. That means at this price, they can sell within 30 days very quickly, right? So when you see the average price is 760, then you know right away you can price it even higher, right? The maximum you see here is sold for 820 per square foot. So the average is 760. So if you look at the market trend, if the market is going up, you can price it above the average price. And have you had to look at the comparable locations? So those 4 units, one is a wooden structure over there by Outer Bridge. And number 2 is by the Garden City Park. And number 3 is 10-year-old across from the hospital. Number 4 is probably by London Drugs. Okay. Now, if you look at the market trend, what you find is the market is crazy going up in the beginning of 2018. So on your listing strategy, you will have to price it above the market price, average price, okay? Otherwise, you cannot reach the maximum selling price. And you can see the days on market is going flat. It's not going up anymore. It's probably going down. So that means the market is going to a very good direction for listings. And also here, the first one is sales to active ratio. If you look at this line here, it's 0.4. 0.4, we know it's seller's market, right? It's above 0.2. Anything above 0.2 is the seller's market. We had the seller's market since beginning 2016 for about 1 to 2 years, right? And average price per square foot just going up like crazy, right? Average per square foot is 818 for brick house area. For the same, you have to check the same neighborhood, by the way, okay? You do not check all Richmond, you check only the same neighborhood. So this one is a brick house where the comparable condo is. So the inventory is actually not very high. It's only about 200 units. And the sale went up. It's 87 sale in a month, right? It went up a lot, 87 sale in a month. So that shows you the condo market during that time is going up very quickly. So when you list your property, the first 2 weeks are crucial, very, very important. 80% of sale will happen in the first month if the house price is priced right? Nobody say, oh, I want to sell a crazy price. I can wait a whole year. Nobody wants to do that because you don't know what's going to happen in the next year. You want to get it sold as quick as possible for the best possible price. So the longer it waits on the market, the less people is going to look at it because people are going to look at how come this house is on the market for so long, nobody buy it, right? There must be some problem with it, or the seller probably very stubborn on the price. So you have to adjust or determine your strategy, pricing strategy, depending on the market. The listing, higher than market price, more negotiation room. You want people to negotiate down to what you want to sell, or you list lower than the market price and try to create a multiple offer, right? Or you can list at the market and look for the right buyer. It's depending on different market trend, so you can determine what kind of strategy you're going to use for your listing. Okay, so that is everything for today's content. If you have any question, please feel welcome to turn on your microphone. We can talk about it. And also you can type in the chat and I can answer your questions. So I don't see anybody have any question, which is good. If you do have any question, you can call me afterwards and I can talk to you over the phone. And if you need me to show you anything, I can show you afterwards over the computer. Okay, that'll be all for today. Thank you, and you have a good week. Oh, there's a question. Do you use PHI? No, I don't usually use PHI. PHI is a identifier for the bigger market trend because when we do comparable, we want to look at a small market trend. PHI is for the macro market. We want to look at the micro market. How about the location of unit in the building? Yes, the location in the building, of course, is very important because, like I said, what's the direction of the unit? What is the layout of the unit, right? It is very important. Are you next to elevator or are you next to electrical room? Are you next to a fire escape hallway, right? All those will affect the price of the unit. And are your entrance door in front of the elevator, right? That's all the considerations when you do comparable analysis. The higher the unit, the more expensive. Most times, yes. Yes, 90% of the time. The higher floor, the better view, the better light exposure. And when you buy, it's also more expensive. What is there not many sold comparable in the last 6 months? Well, if there's not many sold comparable, you probably will, instead of search brick house, you will search whole Richmond and also search back 12 months instead of back 6 months. So you have to look at market trend and estimate. So estimate means using the numbers and market history to guess. You just have to do your best guess on the market. If your guess a listing price and put on the market and there's no action, you have to adjust the price within 2 weeks. Of course, every time when you list with the seller, right, you have to talk to the seller and tell them if we do not have any good action within the first 2 weeks, we're going to adjust our price. That means our price is too high, right? We're going to adjust our price. pros and cons of features that you said, like location, doors. Okay.